Hey guys. Hey Texas boys. How are you guys tonight?
And
How's that new piggy?
yeah, we just watched your video tonight.
Yeah.
That's a cutie.
Oh yeah, Todd loved his or it's a her, right? Her colors. Peppa the pig.
Peppa, I think Peppa's the bigger one,
Oh, it's the
and
bigger
the
one.
new one's the little one.
Oh. Hey Brittany, how are you? So Brittany is on her she used to do CrossFit and she's like got right, you got this whole like your equipment set up in your gym. So she just did is uploading her first fitness journey on the Homestead video. So I can't wait to check that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Brittany over at My Lilac Hill that we're talking about. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Leah and Cecil. Lori. Hey, Carrie. Glad to have you guys with us.
Yeah, she's back.
Who said that?
No,
Oh.
I did. You're back. You weren't here
Yeah.
last week. We had Abigail instead.
We had a guest. My daughter stepped in for me last week.
And as nervous as she was before when we started and like through the stream, when we got done, she was like, "That was pretty fun."
Yeah, she actually had fun. Hey, Spotterlin. Yeah, so I didn't really get. I know I was on the live chat, but I didn't get to participate in all the first intros to the goat conversations and stuff.
Oh
They
yeah.
were. I have seen Wiedemann Reap's goat CrossFit video. I think that's actually how we found her channel,
Yeah, I think so.
and was kind of that went viral, and we saw it, and it was just hilarious. She has a great personality. What was that show that we just watched tonight that they interviewed her? It was kind of talking about how she's been so successful on her channel and her growth and kind of what she learned is her key to success to her audience.
Yeah, it's on. It's a channel called Video Creators. I don't remember the guy's name, but Andy or Adam or something.
I don't know.
And his channel, he specializes in and YouTube channel
Kind of that
growth.
SEO stuff.
Yeah, SEO stuff,
Mm-hmm.
how to grow your channel, how to make good content. And he did an interview with is it Danielle, right?
Donnell or something.
Danielle?
Yeah, something
Danielle?
like that. Mm-hmm.
I knew it earlier.
It was interesting to hear her perspective on kind of finding that key to success for what worked for their channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope your internet can hang in.
I gotta move this cord.
So it was my birthday yesterday. I got some really fun presents. So I didn't ask for anything. Well, I asked for two things because we were getting the goats. So I said I wanted a goat house, but really I needed a goat house and a pedicure. And I don't ever do that, so it was going to be a treat to just go scrub however many layers are probably on the bottom of my feet off.
Hey,
And
Wanda.
I know that's really gross. But
Welcome.
look, I'm going to show you guys what some of the things I got. So, who did we first see post this? Somebody on Instagram, I think. And it is the coolest, oh, that light's going to be terrible. It's the coolest little soil thermometer that tells you, you're going to try it? That, I don't know if it will. Yeah, so you see it says like different vegetables and the degrees of the soil it should be. And I had mentioned last week that I went out with every intention. It was either last weekend or earlier this week to get my carrots, peas, and spinach in the ground. And I pulled back the top mulch and the ground, there was still chunks of ice in there. So I knew it wasn't ready. And we have raised beds for the most part. So it's been fairly decent the last few days. So I thought I would, now that I have that, I would actually check it. And my soil is just barely touching 40 degrees, which is like the lowest minimum you can have to plant anything. So we're supposed to have a couple days here that's going to be
Mm-hmm.
warm, but then we're followed by a ton of rain. So hopefully next week, early next week, I'll be able to plant something. Yeah, Leah, when maybe Todd, when we're done, because we didn't post those links to any of those things in the video description, we can hopefully I'll try to remind them to go back and
Yeah.
add links to these things in the description of the video.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just about everything I got for mine, with the exception of your gift certificate for your pedicure, came from Amazon. So I'll throw links to all of this stuff in the video description for you guys if any of it looks intriguing to you.
Thanks, Lori. Hey, Wanda. And Gans is here. I know Gans said he got his t-shirt.
Yeah,
Gans won the t-shirt.
and I think his wife was going to steal it from him
Oh, right. Yeah.
though.
And you guys know I started making kombucha, so he got me the big book of kombucha. And there's like all kinds of fun flavors and recipes and stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And all these were complete surprises because I seriously gave him nothing to go on. Well, because I didn't want anything. And I'm a little scared to use it. So it's this brand is called Hedge Hunter. It's a hori hori tool, which I've always like envied when I see people that have them. But look how dangerous this sucker looks. But look at that. It's got like measurements on depth, and it's kind of like a spade, but then it's got a saw on it to cut all your goodness. Man. And it has a little belt clip, so I'm going to be like legit gardener this year.
Mama Rambo out there.
Yeah, Mama Rambo.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'll look like.
Well,
It's a big thing. Like, this is my arm. It's big.
I was out in the garden shed, now goat shed, the other day, and she has some of her little garden trowels. You know those little shovels you buy that are like this big that
You know, like the 3-pack. It usually comes with the fork and several things.
And her little shovel that she had out there is like the handle straight, and then the whole like it's all bent up.
Well,
I'm
because
like,
I always buy them from the dollar store, and I just use them till they don't work anymore.
yeah,
But sometimes you hit something hard, and you're trying to bend like clay dirt, which is all that
pulling
we had
rocks.
at our other house was clay soil. So anytime I dug in that, I was constantly bending my shovels.
So I decided she needed a better tool.
Thank you.
And this one is like a full tang, so the steel from the blade extends all the way into the handle. So it should be pretty hard to bend this one. This one's pretty heavy duty.
Hey, Jenny and Chad's here. Hey, guys.
Oh, hey. Enjoying your warm weather down south? Or are you guys colder than us?
Tex's mom got her dishwasher for her birthday. That's funny. That's what he said. He said, I feel like these things I'm buying you, it's like giving you a vacuum cleaner. I loved them. Oh, I can't bring it in the house. The most exciting, well, they're all super exciting because the next one I'm going to show you is super exciting too. But he got me the, oh Lord, and I've forgotten the name. Broad Fork.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know what the brand is.
It's Way Cool Tools.
Way Cool Tools.
I think it's the same one that Tommy Alderman has.
And Hi,
Diana.
I haven't gotten to use it yet, but I'm super excited to use that. And the piece de resistance that everyone in the YouTube community wants is an Instapot. So yay, I'm part of the Instapot club.
Haven't made anything yet.
Well, I just got everything
we just got
yesterday evening. But that's exciting. So if you guys, I know I, of course, got to go get Patty's cookbook now, but if you guys know of any super cool starter recipes for the Instapot, I know I'm going to immediately start, I'm going to try the boiling the eggs and see how that goes.
Yeah, and I think you're supposed to do it at least once with just water, just
Right.
to like season it and clean all the ask for animals.
Lori, I did last year. That's what I got. I got my ducks and my chickens for my birthday last year. Aw, thanks, Gons. And tell your wife thank you. Hi, Diana. Start with hard-boiled eggs. Yes, that's what I thought. I would like to easily start with that, considering I have like 14 dozen sitting in between the counter and the fridge. It would be a fun thing and an easy thing to do, and kids can take them for snacks, and we can take them for snacks to work. Or I have one and didn't use it yet. It's been 3 months. Yeah, I'm afraid, Leah, if I don't like just jump in and do it, I'm going to be the same way, and it's just going to sit there, and just because I'll be intimidated to use it. So maybe tomorrow we'll watch a couple videos and get real comfortable. Wanda, we're up in Michigan, just southeast Michigan, just about 30 minutes south of Detroit. And so I had an awesome birthday. You did good, baby.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Yeah, Wanda, we're about an hour and a half, I guess an hour and a half east of where Jenny and Mike Pratt live.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Green Gables said 4 dozen fits in the 8-quart.
Oh, wow.
That's what I have, the 8-quart. So nice. Oh, Kiri got her first guinea egg today. How fun. Are those tiny, kind of like quail eggs, or are they big like chicken eggs? I don't know. I thought Danny had a broad fork. He's got everything else. How does that man not have a broad fork?
Yeah, we went with, I think there's a couple different manufacturers that made I think the Johnny Seed Company sells one,
Mm-hmm.
which is the one I think that Justin Rhodes has. And then we ended up going with Way Cool Tools, which is the same model that Tommy Alderman has.
And the thing, and I don't know if Johnny Seeds has the same guarantee that Way Cool Tools, but it's a lifetime guarantee on this tool. And I'll tell you, I was so impressed when I felt it and just even holding it, the weight of it, and it plus it's American made. That's always super awesome. But today is my daughter's 17th birthday. So our birthdays are just one day apart. And I can remember when she was born and it being my birthday the night before and thinking, okay, we've gone this long. So just hang on there till tomorrow. And that way we can at least have different birthdays and we don't always have to share birthdays going forward. So it's always fun because we always get sugar overload and 2 birthdays back to back. Thanks, Jenny.
So let's do something fun and throw on the goat cam.
Oh yeah.
We still have our webcam, our extra IP webcam set up in our little garden shed for the goats, so we can keep an eye on them.
And they've gotten to venture out the last couple of days. They went on. Well, we started over the weekend, letting them go out in the yard area around. But we had the electric fence, kind of like Todd I think mentioned last week, just doing a U shape in front of the doors, and
trying to do some training with the fence. Of I think we had them on a lead so that we could take them over by the fence, and then when they get shocked, we can hold them so they don't go through the fence.
Right.
And they get scared and ran back into the shed.
It was all I could do though to get them
it's
out.
Really, yeah, they were really hard to coax them out at first.
Yeah, because they really got that is home now. But the last 2 days we took them out into the big open pasture, and it took some coaxing, but once they got out there and realized there's all this yummy green food to eat, they did not want to leave. And I know you have to be careful when you're first introducing spring pasture that they could overeat and get a little bloaty. So we just left them out for a little bit.
And so, Mike, the brown one is back on that side. See that laundry basket hanging there with hay in it? I think he's behind. I think she's
Yeah,
behind
she's
that. I can
behind
see
that.
it moving.
Yeah. Who asked that?
Gons.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
just
they'll.
call him Mike
Oh,
sometimes. We're
okay.
friends.
Okay. Yeah, it's fun to be able to keep an eye on them and check on them and while we're at work. Sometimes we were cracking up today at lunch because they were just going to town playing and horse wrestling and just having a good old time.
Oh, headbutting, and yeah,
Yeah,
they were going to town
yeah,
today.
acting like goats.
Yep.
So, but they love us now. They're just the sweetest girls.
Yeah. If it's a big change from what we're on like day 8 with goats at our house, and if you compare the way they are now to day 1, they're completely different. Day 1, they were completely, totally terrified, screaming their guts out.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I remember us.
Today, they'll come running over to you, and
Yeah, that first day I like immediately contacted the breeder that we got them from. I'm like, I don't know, is this normal? They're like, they hate me and they're scared to death. And she said, yes, you just have to deal with it. They're gonna be fine. And they were.
yeah. Yeah, no, this video of the goats is a live. It's a live camera feed from our garden shed, which is now our goat shed temporarily.
Yeah. We think we know what we're gonna do for a semi-permanent goat house now.
Yeah, I
So
think
we
so.
we went out pricing some options at Tractor Trailer Supply. And we probably just need to go look at Lowe's and see what they
Yeah,
have in
yeah.
stock.
There's the other one. Mike is or Gons, the little brown one. I don't remember their name. Which one's which? I call them Brownie and Blackie,
Yeah,
but that's not their names.
he doesn't participate in the naming convention. He said, "Well, they're Brownie and Blackie to me." So the black one is Philia, which means love, and the brown one is Bathsheba.
Hey Jeff, welcome.
Hey, Jeff.
Oh, in Southern Arc. I
Hey,
think
how
they
are
just popped on.
you? Hey. So we were just broadcasting our goats, giving people an update. They honestly, goats are a lot like pigs. I'm being very careful not to overfeed them, but I
Oops.
think that they would eat all day long. And see what Philly is doing, pawing at that little basket. That's where we just pour their little handful of grain that we give them. And I'll tell you what, I had seen somebody else had done this laundry basket trick to feed their hay to waste less hay. And I happen to have to. You'll see the other one sitting behind the basket because that's what I tried growing some potatoes in last year in the garden. And it wasn't super successful. I got some, but not a ton. Uh, so I went ahead. I mean, they were from the dollar store. And so I was fine by just going ahead and using one for the hay feeder. And in probably 4 areas, I cut a larger hole out of the 4 smaller holes, and they are loving it. There's like absolutely no hay that's being wasted, so it's working out pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Mike asked whose idea was it to use a laundry basket? Hers.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was actually asking Todd to build me something, and then I saw those sitting there. I'm like, I could use that. Hey, Rosanna, how are you?
Yep. And Valerie, welcome.
Spotter Lynn said the water looked a little
Yeah,
brown.
she was brought up our cabin video. If you guys haven't
Oh,
seen we posted a cabin video. So the weekend that we went and got our goats was over on the west side of the state of Michigan, which also happens to be where we have a cabin, an off-grid cabin over on the west side of the state. So it was a dual purpose trip every year on Easter. We always go to the cabin. It's like our first spring trip of the year as a family. Um, to the cabin every year. But the goats also happened to be like right on our way home. So We shot, I don't know, almost an hour and a half worth of footage from our trip to the cabin, and I think the video I ended up posting was only about 18 minutes long. So there was a lot more to that video.
Yeah, we'll probably have a second edition coming out, just like
Yeah.
of the rest of the trip.
But Lynn, you're asking about the color of the water and the river. So that's the White River.
It's not, I'll tell you, the water's not brown at all. It is crystal clear.
Yeah, it's all sand, is what it is.
Yeah, so it gets a funny reflection.
Yeah, it gets a funny reflection in the fall. When all the leaves change, it really looks even more brown. It's not cloudy though.
No.
The water's crystal clear. It's just you're seeing the brown sand on the bottom. Is all that you're seeing in the videos.
It's a complete sandy soil. You're gonna get your little pebble pools where the salmon do their spawning and stuff, but it's a crystal clear river. It just doesn't look that way. I know, it's funny. Those colors play tricks on your mind.
Yeah, it looks like the goats are getting ready to go to bed.
Oh, good. Good night, goats. I'm gonna have to go out there and turn out the light. We just left it on for the sake of the thing. But you want to show them your fencing, how that turned out?
Yeah. Lori was just talking about the Pratt family. We should all say a prayer for Mike and Jenny.
So Mike's mom, yeah.
Yeah, Mike's mom. He doesn't really share the details of what happened to her. She lives in, is it Des Moines, Iowa?
Yeah, something like that.
They took off about 4 or 5 days ago to go to Iowa because his mom wasn't doing well, and from the sounds of it, yeah, they could really use some prayers from everybody, just for peace and comfort for his mom. It doesn't really sound good from what he posted on Facebook, but yeah, they definitely still need us all. It does sound beachy. Yeah, it's all sand and gravel. So part of our transition for our goats, I guess we kind of have two paths for our transition. One is to get them trained on the Premier One electric fencing, because we want to be able to rotationally move them around to a few. Here, I'm going to switch us back to this main for a bit. If you need the goats back, let us know. I'll switch it back for you. But sometimes I just hate having a tiny little picture of us.
Yeah.
Feels impersonal, but get them trained to the Premier One electric fencing, and then we also redid the paddock that we had that used to be from the previous owners of this homestead set up for horses. We split that paddock in half, and we're going to use one half for the goats and the other half to raise some pigs this year. So I'm getting distracted by questions. So the one half that was for goats, last weekend I recruited my dad, or suckered my dad into coming over and helping me pull some fencing. I spent a lot of time, like a week prior, fixing some of the posts that were bad. Some of the H-bracing was kind of rotten.
You had to add a couple posts too.
Adding a couple posts, getting everything lined up. And then on was it Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
I had my dad come by, and we ended up tying off this no-climb fencing, not welded wire, wrapped wire, and pulling all this across. It seemed to turn out really well. We learned a lot of lessons really early on. We tried coming up with some ways to.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, we actually on a lot of the posts we actually wrap them properly, where you strip the vertical wires off the fence, you wrap it around the post, and then wrap it back around itself, and that is really, really hard to do.
It's time consuming for
it's
sure.
It's really time consuming, especially with this no climb fencing, because the the horizontal spacing on those wires is like 4 inches apart. So you have like 15 wires you got to strip and then wrap back around themselves. So it was really, really a painful process. But it turned out really well. Here's some of the H bracing that we ended up having to replace. Some of them were rotten. So we cut those out. We put some new posts in, some new pins. We were able to reuse the high tensile wire to pull everything together. We just had to put some new boards in it.
All that wood back there. I don't know if you guys remember that video when Todd fell those trees and the squirrel was in it. That's what that stack of wood is there. We finally got those all bucked up.
Mm.
Don't forget the wire tried to gut you. Oh my gosh. That was the funniest story. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I have another fence picture, but let me ask. Jeff asked a question about is there good fishing on the river at the cabs? Is there good fishing at the river at our cabin? I get talking too fast. Absolutely, it's actually a blue ribbon trout stream. Spring we get steelhead run, and in the fall we get a salmon run.
Mm-hmm.
So, absolute.
Now we're on
great fishing.
Yeah, we're on a branch of the main river. So, and ours, because it is a blue ribbon trout river, it is considered a treated naturally, meaning that they don't go in and maintain it or anything like that. So, and you'll see if you haven't watched the video, when we pan the river, you see a lot of deadfall in the river, and you're not even allowed to take that out. You have to leave it in its natural state, whatever is to occur and happen. So, I think one of our original desires was that we'd be able to kayak down it, and we of course can't do that on our branch, but the main branch is much larger, and you see huge groups of fishermen on that river. We're kind of blessed because you won't see anyone traveling down our section of the river.
No, a couple of fishermen hiking maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to our fence. Finish up that story. Basically, I think we filled probably 5 inches of a bucket with. Sorry, the dogs are getting crazy on us. This is all the scrap. This is all the wire that you have to pull off and strip from those horizontal wires to pull it back around the post and wrap it on itself. If you do any fencing projects, definitely if you fight all those little pieces of wire, don't leave that stuff laying in your yard. Make sure you pick up every single piece, or your animals will graze, they will eat it, and it will make them very sick.
Yeah, that, or it goes in your foot, or ruins a tire on your lawnmower.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, your animals getting sick would be the worst. Oh, good night, Jeff. Jeff's got to go.
All right, see you, buddy.
So Rosanna asked, did we have a farm before, or are we just learning as we go? We are both just learning as we go. I'll say before we ever got here, for a good 2 years, we just followed other YouTubers and really just learned a lot. You've got something hanging from your mustache.
Thanks.
We just learned a lot and just absorbed and researched and read.
We worked on a lot of the core basic skills, like we learned to can before we moved here, and preserve food and make jellies and jams, and
practiced gardening in our suburban homestead. But animals is all completely new to us.
Yeah, we ended up taking the goats out to the new paddock today. We brought their little Ford out there for them. And we let them spend 3 hours?
Yeah, probably 3 hours.
Probably 3 hours this evening out there, and they loved it. They were running around and jumping and eating grass. And
these are all little autumn olive trees that are growing in there, and they were just so cute. Trying to get up on their back hooves. We don't have a picture of that, do we? But they would get up on their hind hooves and just as long as they could balance trying to reach, and you had a hair on your face.
Yeah.
But they enjoyed their time. And it was nice because we were actually able to shut the gate, but when we were just working over in the food forest area, the orchard. And, we felt safe that as they're learning their new area, we're right there if they needed anything. And then we just bring them back into the shed at night. And eventually we're going to get my shed back.
Yeah, and turn it back into a garden shed. We definitely we're going to add at the top of that fence about an inch or two, maybe 3 inches above where the fencing ends, a single strand of polyelectric wire all the way around.
Yeah.
Just to make, if they try to climb up the fence, they should get a good little zap on their nose and realize that, hey, I probably shouldn't do this. So as long as they can't completely broad jump over the fence without touching anything, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, if they can, I think we've got some crazy goats on our hands. I mean,
I got a plan for that too if they decide to.
Okay. It's probably Craigslist is his plan. Oh, geez. But I was mentioning that we were in the orchard, so I don't know, it's been a while, probably a month ago or so on one of the live streams I shared with you guys all the additions to the orchard that I purchased from Stark Brothers. And that order came in while we were at the cabin. It showed up this last weekend. So they've kind of just been in the garage. That was when I realized the ground was still frozen. It was Saturday. I walked the tiller all the way out there and the ground was rock solid. I'm like, this is going to be a nightmare. And so I ended up getting 2 pecan trees, 2 gooseberries, 2 honeyberries, and 3 cranberry trees. Now the berry bushes I'm adding to the 2 rows that I've already got established. The pecan trees will be my nitrogen fixers that is going to go on both ends of a new row that we're making. And the 2 new rows, I'm just prepping the land right now because I'll probably plant future orchard trees in the fall rather than doing it in the spring. But this spring through summer, I'm going to use for, isn't that sky amazing that we had tonight? But this spring, I'm going to use these rows for my onions, my sweet potatoes, and my peanuts. So the very first thing I have to do, because in that Stark Brothers order were my onions. And I think I have a picture of the onions somewhere.
Yep. Right.
Yeah. So I got, guys, this is now hey Chelsea, I just saw you join. This proves, whoever asked, was it Rosanna? Have we ever farmed before? I have no idea what I'm doing in so many areas. So when I ordered my example, right? So when I ordered my garlic, I don't know what 5 pounds of garlic looks like, seed garlic. I had no idea what I was ordering, but I knew I wanted these varieties. Oh my gosh, guys, you would not believe how much how I've got a gallon-sized freezer bag of cloves of garlic in the freezer, and I planted over 150 plants of garlic. So I just did the same thing with the onions. It said, so much amount for a bunch of onions, like a bunch of onion starts. I'm like, okay, give me 4. It is so many onions. I'm like, I could plant that whole orchard area of nothing but onions. So I'm sure I'm going to be giving them away to family and friends. But anyway, so we're going to do the onions And that's what I'm tilling here. So at the end of this is about, what'd you say? How long of a row? 45-foot row?
Yeah, probably 45 foot.
Yeah, somewhere in between the 45 to 60-foot row. And so the two pecan trees are going to go in, because this will be a future orchard row. Two pecan trees at both ends, and then onions straight down the middle. But look at that. We do have just blessed with amazing soil. If you could measure soil alone on texture and color, I've got the best soil. Now, I don't know what minerals or goodness or content is in it, but it's the lightest, fluffiest, beautiful soil. And you'll be able to see it. I'm going to play something, and I don't know how loud it is, but it's me actually trying to maneuver this big tiller. This thing's ginormous. And it's supposedly self-propelled. And it's doing okay. It just slips in the loose soil.
Yeah, they should be able to hear both. But
okay.
You could be a little harder to hear because of
the sound of the tiller. Anyway.
So yeah, Noah's Ark. You were asking why we're using a tiller and not our tractor. We have a tractor. We have a 1948 Ford 8N, but we have zero plowing attachments nor tiller attachments for it at this point in time.
I really wanted to get one, but we ended up finding this tiller on Craigslist. And
yeah, we picked it up used last year. Works really well. It's a Craftsman. It starts up good. I think we just need to get some chains for the wheels and give it some better traction. But yeah. I think I got a possible lead on one of the original two bottom plows to go on the back of our tractor. So that should help things out.
Yeah, my daughter was just over for a quick celebration with us, and before she went out with her friends, and she just jumped in on the pictures. She was of no help, I promise. But anyway, it's really good soil. I do very little amending to it. You know, I'll throw some peat moss in there when I plant the trees, and I'll throw in a little fertilizer when I organic fertilizer when I do the onions. Yes, Deborah, she said dehydrate the onions and garlic and make your own powder and flakes. I know, right? I so want to do that. Because we have the dehydrator now. Mm-hmm. And yes, definitely. If I am very hard at judging, I would say I easily have probably 400 onion starts. I don't know.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So we're going to do one more row like we just did for that row. And they're about 24 foot wide. We'll do one more row, and that's going to be where my sweet potatoes and peanuts get planted. It does look rich, doesn't it? I don't know why it looks so amazing. It's very loose. It's very humusy and fluffy and black as black can be.
Yeah, and I was digging some of my holes for my posts for the fence, and it's probably a good 2 feet of just black soil, and then sand after that. Orange, like beach sand almost.
Yeah.
So where the 2 foot layer of black came from on the top, I don't know, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I'd imagine all the years back in the day of this being a homestead, and you know, it's just finally became good earth. What are we? Oh my goodnessing, Renee. I don't know. Probably my 400 onion starts.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're right. Yep, I do give. Well, so I've given garlic to the chickens for parasite management and just good health. And I just made my first herbal dewormer balls for the goats because that's one thing that Wholesome Roots. So when I chit chatted with Rose on kind of freaking out when I first brought them home and what can I do? What should I watch for? And she said that when they get stressed and they're young, they can get a heavy parasite load. So just worm them. And she told me what herbal dewormer to get. I don't have the name brand on hand, but it's make the little balls and give them to them for 3 days in a row, and then go down to a regular maintenance schedule. And that has a lot of garlic in it. And oh, speaking of that, so I was giving them, they don't really like them yet. And I know they'll learn to like them. I think it's just because they're kind of big and they can't quite get their lips around it. But see that? She bit me today trying to I know it was an accident because she loves me, but I was trying to get it back in her gums so she couldn't spit it out, and she bit me. Oh, they're Nubian goats.
Yeah.
Hey, Organic Gardening in North Carolina. Hi, I think you're new to our channel.
Yep, I'm Backwoods Raised. Welcome.
Awesome. Nothing here but chickens. Yep, that's all that we started with, chickens. Then we got ducks, and yeah, it hurt. It bled good. She got my cuticle good. Came in and washed it. Okay. Good night, Brittany. That's all that we really had to share from what's been happening around here. Like, I'm just so anxious, guys, to get constant dirt underneath my fingernails to be able to work. Oh, but I'll tell you, so you'll also, we should apologize that we haven't had a lot of content out, and we've just been busy, right? So we haven't been our regular selves with 2 or 3 videos a week. I think over the last 2 weeks, other than our live streams, we've probably posted 1 video a week.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that's been on me. I've kind of gotten a little bit in a rut. And I know it's likely because I'm so done with winter. I want to be doing fun stuff. And so I was bound and determined today, that's it. This is going to happen. The 2 good weather days are happening. So I came home, got off an hour early, grabbed the camera, taking you guys with me. I needed to go till, I needed to do this and that. No matter what happens, at least I'm going to be able to take you guys with. Get out there. Everything went wrong that could go wrong. So if the video is worth anything, it's going to be humorous and nothing else. Because I got out there, I've never started this tiller by myself. Tried to figure it out. Lo and behold, there's no gas. And it just went downhill from there. So it was pretty funny. Curie, I used to feed my brother peanut butter sandwich with garlic and herbs for eye infections he was prone to. I would sprinkle cayenne pepper on the peanut butter. Huh. Now, this herbal dewormer stuff has cayenne in it. It's very spicy. You know, with the garlic and the pepper and... Hey, Dylan Family Homestead. I didn't see you guys join. Thanks,
yeah.
Mike.
Yeah, thanks. We should start getting on track a little better now. I was tied up. Yeah, you were
in my funk.
In your little funk, and I was tied up basically every day working on this fence project, which is pretty much behind us now. We still need to add the electric wire. But yeah, it gets tiring. We both work full time.
Yeah.
By the time I get home from work, I'll get home at work at 4 or 5 o'clock, and It's like, all right, well, let's throw down some dinner, and then I'm gonna go outside and work for 2 or 3 hours. And you come in, and it's like, okay, well, I didn't even bring the camera with me, so
And two, the cabin video, like you said, was like an hour and a half worth of footage. So to just try to mine his way through that was intensive.
yeah.
I know everyone. Oh, hey, Amy, I didn't see you here. I know everyone across the country has to be so done with winter. It's ridiculous. Leah said, I hear you. We've been so busy. Oh, I think and I asked myself, like, we are so, so busy once gardening season happens and it's outdoor weather management and we've got so many projects to do. Like, we've got to figure out, and we were kind of talking, like, we have to figure out what mechanism of videography is going to work for us,
Mm-hmm.
because the setup and the whole B-roll footage and all that, we're not going to have time for a lot of that. I think it's going to be pick up the camera and go. Oh, that's good, Chelsea. Oh, I meant to send you another pickled egg recipe, Leah. I saw one the other day I thought you would like. So Leah does a lot of pickled eggs over at Crepe Myrtle Homestead. And I've never eaten them myself. I think it sounds repulsive. So every time I see the videos, or the recipe, I'll just send it to her and say, "Here, you'll probably like this." I don't think I would. We're just reading the comments. You guys are so fun.
Yeah.
So I know, Chelsea, I'm a couple videos. I know I'm at least a couple videos behind over on your channel. You just did over at our Little Mountain Ranch. Chelsea put out the 5 questions video, that collab that we did.
The why you do
why
what
you
do.
do what you do. So I'm gonna have to go check that out. Thanks, Renee. Oh, we wanted to talk about, have you guys heard, do any of you watch, what is it, 50 Ducks in a Hot Tub or something?
Mm-hmm.
YouTube took their channel down. Like, this is not one of those rumor has it. This, like, really, really, really happened.
They suspended his channel.
Well, yeah. So that's basically taking it down.
Yeah, you can't log into it. You can't see his videos. He's got like 9 years worth of videos he posted.
And he's a homesteader channel. He does just raises ducks is the main content of his videos. So he shows you everything from breeding ducks to harvesting ducks. And it sounds like, because he recreated his channel just so he could get some of his content back out there. So you can still look him up, but it's not his original channel. And he's talking about what happened. And I guess there's this whole, and this is all new to me because I stay out of this, Todd handles all this, that you can get like flagged, or what is it called? Strikes against you for whatever channel that you have. I mean, regardless of if you're homesteading or not. And maybe the PETA activist got a hold of his channel and was, for what they considered animal cruelty or something, for
inappropriate content
and stuff. And they marked, like, he was showing how ducks breed. And just from an educational standpoint. And they marked it as like pornography, and I'm like, this is like nature, how God intended, and just this happens. You could walk down the street and see two ducks procreating at the park.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then similarly with his butchering, it was just a really unfortunate situation for him. And I believe his channel was monetized, and this was a significant part of his income.
Yeah.
And
I think he had like 50 some thousand subscribers. He's been doing YouTube for like 8 or 9 years now.
yeah, it was just so.
So we're still. We watched. There was a video from Homesteading with a Y at the end tonight. We watched a video from him tonight, and he was talking about this event and what happened. He didn't really name the channel, but we used to watch 50 Ducks in a Hot Tub, and I'm like, I wonder if it was that guy. And we went and checked out his new channel because the guy had to make a whole new channel. And sure enough, it's what it sounds like happened. And
Yeah.
I mean, at least according to him, I mean, it sounds like the PETA people came after him or something, and I don't know. It's sad, I think.
Yeah, well, but I think it is, for those of any of you, I guess, is our point in sharing it is to just be wise about what's going on out there, and maybe you don't care. Like, I don't know that we would ever show anything that, but I guess you would never think that would be something like, here's how ducks reproduce. That, I mean, that's something you could go to PBS and watch. I'm flabbergasted. But anyway, I think from Homesteading's perspective, it makes him think extra hard before he ever puts anything in his videos. Hey Nick, somebody said, did we film any of the fence install? No. And he came in after that day, and he had worked for like 7 hours out there. And I said, I wasn't going to say anything, but oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't film any of that project. And it would have, I think, been too much to try to film that because it was such an intensive, hard project to do.
Yeah, and my dad was here.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to respect him, and but I definitely did. I definitely may do now that it's done, at least do a short video of some of the stuff that I learned.
Oh yeah.
Because at the beginning, the first pull of wire turned out crappy. I mean, it's good. It's going to hold the goats, and they're just fine. But if you compare the first run of wire to the last run of wire, they're completely different. In how tight I was able to get it pulled. And I did all my pulling with the winch on the front of my four-wheeler. And we tried a number of different ways to try to get... You throw your winch on your four-wheeler onto a piece of fencing and you start pulling it, and all that happens is your four-wheeler slides across the mud. So I came up with some pretty cool ways to get around that. So I should be able to recreate some of that stuff pretty easy and at least show you some of the lessons that I learned along the way, and throw together a quick video for that. At least get the most important part of what I learned is by far the most important.
Yeah.
And I could have filmed
myself. You could
myself.
probably even replicate like how you did the four-wheeler pulling.
Yeah, exactly.
To be able to show people.
I could show you for 2 hours of me doing it, but I'd rather throw a 5-minute video of what I learned.
Yeah.
Now that I'm done.
Right. What else do we have coming up though? So I know I've got to get like I said, the things planted. You have committed 100% to your own self to do your garage lighting video, and I know we've said that now for the last month, but it's killing him now, so he's going to get that done this week.
Yep, the garage lighting project. I owe everyone a follow-up video on how that turned out and what I decided to do for my lighting my garage because it was way too dark before.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we'll do an Instapot video. I mean, there's lots of them out there, but have you ever seen a newbie use an Instapot?
Yep. So Kiri asked a link to the new channel. So I think you're talking about the 50 Ducks channel. So every week we do a at the end of our live stream every week, we tell you about a video that was one of our favorite videos for the week. Something that stuck with us. It was well produced. It made us laugh. It made us cry. And there's 3 videos in the description of this live stream. One of them is the video from Homesteading, where he's talking about his fear of ending up with the same fate as 50 ducks in a hot tub. The third one is the link to 50 ducks in a hot tub.
Yeah, that's it.
Nick, yeah, thank you, Nick. Our moderator's here. He must have got off work early tonight. Thanks, buddy. And then the first link is a video from Art and Bree. You want to tell them about that one, or shall I?
No, yeah. So it was Easter Sunday when Flopsy, which is their newbie goat, went into labor, and I think she went into labor the night before. And Easter Sunday, she actually they had a tragedy on their homestead with the loss of one of her babies. And she ended up having triplets, and 2 of them, so there's a good story behind it, 2 of them survived, but the first one was stillborn and had been in the breech position for way too long. I think it just hit Bree extra hard, in that she had been working so hard to do this breeding with her goats, plus she's so close to birthing her own child right now, that she just mourned with this goat in the most beautiful way. She mourned for her incapabilities, or what she perceived as her incapabilities from a lack of knowledge, and that if she had known more, she would have stepped in sooner. And she had been talking to Rose at Wholesome Roots and Danelle at Weedham and Reap, and trying to get as much information as she could real time. And I think that that's where all of us are going to be in our first time animal husbandry, is that we're going to face situations that we've never faced before. And a lot of us are going to be in situations where there's literally no one to come and help us through that. And she just did. I was crying through the video, and I don't know that I've ever cried watching a YouTube video before. But you really felt her heart. And I think it almost in a way is a good preparation video for anyone that is breeding their own animals, whether it be cows or sheep or pigs or goats, and into kind of a preparation of really, really, really significant tragedies can happen. And you can doubt yourself and doubt your capabilities, but it's just part of farm life. Mm. So.
Yeah, it even got me a little bit too watching it. Just because Art and Bree always do such a good job of being so genuine. Mm-hmm. We all feel like we know them, and I could really relate to her feeling responsible. Mm-hmm. I mean, not that I feel like she was at fault by any means. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I would be in the same situation if that's my animal, and I'm like, I'm supposed to do something, and I don't know what to do, and I would feel the same way. I would be really sad.
Good night, Leah. Good night, Cecil.
Thanks for joining, guys.
Anyway, so those were our 3 picks for the week. I honestly can tell you I've hardly watched any YouTube for the last week. I've been going to bed at like 9 o'clock, and so I'm going to try to catch up.
Yeah, and there's some people taking off. If you guys haven't, click the thumbs up for us already. Please do so before you guys bail out of here. It helps us out.
I think we're all set though.
Yeah,
unless you guys have any questions, yeah, we can finish on
throw the goat cam up again. I think they're both back there sleeping though.
Yeah.
They're saying, "Why didn't you come turn off my light yet?"
I know.
No, he's still moving around.
Yeah, they're just chewing their cud.
Zoom that in a little. Yeah, no, yeah, they're out for the night.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here with us tonight. It was fun having you. And
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys. We love spending time with you guys and chatting with you guys and having some two-way conversation with you guys. It's really cool. It's nice, refreshing for us every week. It kind of re-energizes us. And
night, Chelsea. Nick said a live go cam. Amazing.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Good night, guys.
Yep. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next. We'll see you when our next video is out.
Or next Tuesday too.
And we'll chat with you next Tuesday.
Yep.